Hello there, welcome back to Lorne Armstrong, The Legacy of COD, Lornemas 2022 Special. Theories! We all love a good theory, and every writer knows not to give away every little detail, so they let the reader speculate and fill in the gaps on their own. That's pretty much what I want to do today. I have 3 popular Lorne theories that I've heard in my time with this material, and I want to introduce these theories to any newcomers in the Lorne community, as well as put in my 2 cents. With that being said, let's get started. This was the first theory I heard when I dipped my toes into this community. So when Lorne Armstrong arrived at the Sting house, our decoy tells Lorne about the new massage chairs that they had recently acquired.
Well look, we got these new chairs, you have to sit down.
I have to sit down?
Yeah, look. It's a massager chair.
God,
it vibrates when you press the buttons.
Look, oh my god.
Yeah, flip the switches.
Which one is it?
You can use either one of them. It tells you there's one for your butt, there's one for your lower back, and there's one for your upper back.
I just felt my butt, I think.
You can pretty much tell a difference when you press all of
Holy,
them.
yep, that's my
That
butt.
feels so good, right?
So now we know the chair is on, and Lorne is currently getting a heated butt massage. Does Lorne keep the chair on? It's really funny to think that while Lorne is getting grilled about his chat log, he's getting a nice butt massage. So, is it true? Looking at the footage, Lorne plays with the buttons of the massage chair while talking to the decoy. The last time he touches it is when he comments on the heat of the seat and Kayla tells him to press the red button in order to turn it off.
I like seeing you in person.
Yeah, I like seeing you too.
Good.
So.
This is getting hot. How come?
Oh, because press the red button. It's a heater too.
So we know that the heater is off, but what about the massage chair itself? I honestly don't know, but if I had to guess, I think he kept the chair on. So when Lorne pressed the red button, did he turn off the chair completely or just the heat part of the chair? Because you can have the heater off but still be getting a massage. Looking at many heated recliner remotes, there is usually a button that is separate for heat, and the heat comes from the back of the chair in one concentrated spot. When Lorne says that the chair is hot, he puts his hands behind his back to feel the heat himself. Then he presses the button, so I'm led to believe that this remote is similar to the one Lorne has. So Lorne turned off the heat, and he didn't touch the remote for the entire time after that. But wouldn't he feel uncomfortable when he's talking to Chris Hansen and then decide to turn it off? Well, we see the footage and we see that he hasn't messed with it at all. In fact, he is pretty much a deer in headlights as he doesn't even put his recliner down when things get heated. The killer shot to this series is that apparently when Lorne was getting arrested outside and Chris was collecting all of the papers, a worker or someone that was in the Sting house at the time came and turned off the chair, meaning that Lorne did keep the chair on the entire time. The problem is that I can't seem to find this clip. People say that it's in the full interview, but looking at it, I couldn't see it. I'll play what I could find right now.
Now you're free to walk out of this house right now. But if there's anything else you want to say, now would be the time to say it.
Sheriff's office, down! Get down! On the ground! Put your hands behind your back.
As you can see, no one goes near the chair to turn it off, but I might just be missing something or the footage has been cut out. It doesn't really matter though, because I'm pretty convinced that he kept it on the entire time. This next one is my favorite out of the bunch. So we all know about the catfishing calls. It shows the best of Lorne as he is thrown into some pretty crazy situations. So here's a question. Does Lorne know that he's being catfished? We know Lorne is aware that he has been catfished before. I mean, Ramona did come out and say that their whole relationship was fake to him.
I'm not your fake doctor that has so-called millions of dollars, or this fake therapist that has so-called millions of dollars.
Or your fake fucking internet Ramona girlfriend, Lorne. This is all fake. What the hell, Lorne? How long does it take you to figure this shit out? Yes, I have a boyfriend. I've had one for years, and it's not you.
But the real question is, does Lorne know that he was being catfished at the time and he just went along with it? It's kind of a complicated question, so I want to take you through my thought process a little bit. So at first, I believed that Lorne didn't know that he was being catfished and he believed everything. I mean, he goes along with it, so he must believe all of it, right? But then you start listening to these calls and it gets crazier and crazier and crazier. The TSA call, all of Winnie, Rhoda, Casey, it's just insane. And then after you listen to all these calls, you think to yourself, okay, something's up. He's got to know that something is up, right? So then I shifted my view from Lorne doesn't know he's being catfished to now Lorne is always skeptical that he's being catfished and is somewhat aware that at the very least, he is always being recorded. I first thought of this idea when I listened to the phone call, Casey sends the wrong text. In this call, Lorne is upset that he got a message that makes it sound like he's being messed with. And in reality, he is being messed with, and that message was supposed to go to like the catfishing group chat. But it accidentally got sent to Lorne. So now Tiffany, as Casey, has to explain to Lorne why he isn't being catfished and explain away this random message.
Do you want me to read it to you? Let me read it to you. Hang on. Let me look at it so I can fucking read it to you.
Okay, fuckface, read it.
Inbox. Let me find this fucking thing. Okay, I'm on my way home. My GPS says 12 minutes. Let me know if the show is still on the road. How do you explain that?
Are you going to stop screaming so that I can?
What? Well, I'm just screaming just so to make sure you can hear me because I didn't have the phone up to my ear.
Okay, I did hear
I don't know
you.
why you've been lying to me.
Shut
why have you been
up.
lying to me?
Shut up.
You're not in rehab.
Shut up. Yes, I am.
You've been acting all this time.
No, I'm
You have
not.
been acting like you had... Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you have.
No.
It's kind of obvious from that message, so stop lying.
Listen, fat fucker, I was watching a movie. Do you know how to use voice to text? Do you know how to use voice to text?
Don't call me fat fucker again. Don't degrade
Fat
me.
fucker.
I'm not your fucking Tom Watson piece of shit dad.
Shit. You attempted to molest a child. You couldn't even do that right.
Fuck you.
I was watching a movie. Do you know what talks to text is?
Nope, not even a little bit.
No, because you're retarded. Here's how it works. You hold down a button.
No, because I don't
and
spend
you
my
talk
time
into
watching
it.
movies. I
And
have
you
a
talk
life.
into it. And you talk into it. It prints out what you're going to say onto a text, and then it sends it. I didn't know that that's how it worked, because on my other phones, it waits until you're ready to send it, and then you can select to send it. But this time, on this phone, I've never used it before. It just picked up what was going on, and it sends it right away. I was watching a movie. Believe it or not, I don't give a shit.
And there are a lot more instances of Lorne being suspicious of his friends and then trying to catch them on things. Like, I remember Lorne mentioning that every time he calls one of the catfishes, they don't pick up at all, but every time they call him, he always picks up, so he thought that was a little bit weird. He also mentioned at one point that every time they, like Winnie or somebody, call Lorne's phone, it comes up with Emma's phone number, or her voicemail comes up when Lorne calls the catfishes that isn't Emma. So he's getting on to something. Lorne is also slightly aware of like the slight power he holds. Cause sometimes when he gets really mad at like Winnie, when Winnie and Lorne are just arguing and he gets really mad, he won't just threaten to stop talking to Winnie. He'll threaten to stop talking to everyone, that he'll just disconnect his phone and stop talking to everyone. So that gives off the impression that he knows he's worth more than they think he is. But then the next obvious question is, why does Lorne stay? And when someone calls him, why does he keep picking up the phone over and over again? Well, it's because he has nothing up there in Maine. He has his brother who thinks he's a nuisance most of the time. His mother who doesn't play any of those nonsense games. He had Tony when he was still around before he passed away. And even when he was around, Tony just used him to get more beer and made fun of him constantly. There was Wendy, Tony's wife, but Lorne has gone on the record to say that he doesn't like Wendy at all. Really, there's no one Lorne can talk to. So if he has to compromise some of his privacy and he knows he's being recorded when he's talking to these people online, he's gonna take that bet every time. There's also the fact that even though Lorne knows that he's being catfished, he still comes back to the catfish. Emma recorded him multiple times and had a falling out, but he still ended up being friends with her. He was still talking to Ramona months after she revealed her troll. After Winnie came out and said that she wasn't Casey, he still stuck with her. All of this put together makes me think that he is kind of aware that he's always being catfished or always being recorded, but he pushes those thoughts back and he just goes along for the ride. Side note, I also think that there is a level of conversion that happens. Like, he was pretty against Emma recording him, but Lorne stayed friends with Emma because he thought that he can convert her to good and on his side. There's also like with Ramona, and after Ramona came out as Elizabeth, Lorne was just like, yeah, you catfished me, but I know you still love me, right? It's always like this weird conversion thing, like, even though you messed with me, I know you're like pure of heart or something. So we can still keep talking to each other because I know you're not a bad person. You just catfished me. It's really weird and crazy when I'm talking about it, but if you listen to these phone calls, that's like what happens. Like with Casey was dating Lorne for 5 months, and then she came out as Winnie, and then Winnie just came up with the excuse, oh yeah, I was told to catfish you by Xavier, but I actually fell in love with you. And he just falls for it, kind of because he's just used to this. He's used to people messing with him, but then being like, no, it's okay. I still care about you, so we should stay friends. And he has nothing else going on, so he's just gonna stay friends. That's pretty much all I got for this theory, but I'd really love to know what you guys think about it, because I know some of you have listened to more phone calls than I have. Especially with like the Jamie Amy stuff. Just like, why would you keep talking to a robot? And this also touches on the point because with Jamie Amy, Lorne is trying to convince her to reveal herself to his probation officers, right? And that's kind of been like a goal in all of these because probation needs to know about the people he's talking to online now after he's gone to prison. So it's like, why keep getting into these online relationships? But not only that, but then why would you stay when they say they won't reveal themselves to probation? So that should be like the clear flag that, okay, they're catfishing me, they're messing with me because they can't do the simple thing of saying, hey, I am real and I am not a child or fake. But they can't do that, so I don't know what's going on in Lorne's mind. But I'd love to hear what you guys think. Okay, so now we're on the big one. Is Lorne Armstrong a virgin? A question that has plagued this community for a very long time. Now, right off the gate, I'm going to admit that no one knows if Lorne has had sex or not, or if he's a virgin or not. It's just, we just don't know. And we can't go by Lorne's word because he often lies about almost everything that comes out of his mouth. So we kind of just have to speculate about it. And speculate we will. There isn't really a lot of evidence to point that Lorne isn't a virgin, other than the fact that, well, he must have gotten lucky at some point, right? I think that everyone acknowledges that if Lorne were to have sex, it would have happened before the sting occurred, because that's when Lorne was in his prime. Especially when he was down in Alaska, but we'll get to that. We do know of some girls that Lorne has been with after the sting, like Nikki, but that didn't really work out between them, so I think he didn't have sex with her. We also do have all of the phone calls, and even though Lorne hasn't met someone online and met up with them in real life, the phone calls can allude us to some details about his sex life. To get to the root of the problem, we're going to have to start with Paula, of course. I've heard different retellings of the Paula story, but the one I'm most familiar with is that there was this girl, and her name was Paula, and Lorne met her while she was stationed down in Alaska. And you know, they hit it off and they started dating. I think it lasted about like a year. Then Lorne figured out that Paula was cheating on him, and therefore he was like, okay, I'm done. I'm not going to date you anymore. Like I said, this was probably his best chance of getting laid, and honestly, I don't think he went through with it. Of course, I have no idea if he did or not, but that's just what it sounds like to me. Going back to when Lorne was in Nashville, he would claim that he would go to karaoke bars all of the time, and he would have to bring condoms with him in his truck because he was getting laid so much. I, and a lot of people, don't believe this, for pretty good reasons. From listening to Lorne constantly for months on end, I'm confident enough in saying that I don't think Lorne would have sex with anyone unless he's in a relationship with them. And this relationship could possibly even just be a friendship, but he has to know the person because he has to be obsessed with them. While Lorne was down in Nashville and talking to Kayla, He was glued to the computer screen. He always had his cam on 24/7 for Kayla to access. We have all the catfishing calls to show that he'll spam anybody if he wants an answer from somebody. Like Winnie or somebody else could be in the hospital, and if he doesn't get an answer from Winnie, he's just gonna go to Debbie or the next person to get an answer. And if we want to go to a real life example, we have Nikki, who is a person that he literally started stalking. So yeah, I think Lorne gets pretty obsessive and he can't have sex outside of a relationship. But is he a virgin? I really don't know. These are just my upfront thoughts, and I haven't really had as much time with this theory as I had with the other two. If someone did believe that Lorne isn't a virgin, then we all acknowledge that it only happened about like 1 or 2 times. So it doesn't really matter, but it's still fun to talk about. I mean, he is a sex offender who possibly hasn't had sex at all in his life. So it's kind of a funny topic, honestly. If you want to hear this particular theory fleshed out in full, then I'll point you to Andrew Burkett's stream that he did a while ago on it, where he and a ton of other people hop on and talk about the theory.
There are some questions that have boggled philosophers and scientists since the dawn of time. What is consciousness? Are we alone in the universe? Is there a God? Who on earth found the Blair Witch Project funny? Is Lorne Armstrong a virgin? Well, this is the question we're going to ask today.
I'm just here to get you thinking a little bit, even if the question is just if Lorne is a virgin or not. Alright, that's all I got today. I know this was a pretty short video, but God, I really do need this short video to prepare myself for the next 2 days that's coming up. I hope you've had a lovely Lawrence, 2 days left, and I'll see you tomorrow.